Right, I'm here. I've arrived. And it's actually not that much motorbike parking here. I think they sort of probably spill out and just park anywhere. Look, I parked right next to another XADV. Had a little chat with him, nice Italian guy. Told him that the seat was well worth buying. Oh, incidentally, I've got my light lock and a chain on there today, so hopefully that will stay safe. Just missed a big crowd of hooligans on their bikes revving up, so maybe just have a quick look, show you how many bikes there are. So it's really not very many. It was about the same yesterday. The Revy boys have been in and out already. I'm not that early today. Yesterday was really busy when I arrived. There's a little queue here. I'll turn the camera off for this. It's just they do a little bag check. Make sure you're not carrying anything stupid. So I'll see you on the other side of this gate. Right, after a short little walk, going into the first building. It's basically just sort of two sides really, over about, I don't know, 8 or 9 halls, but they're all connected. So one side and then the other side. So we'll walk all the way through, try and pick out some interesting bits and then go from there. Oh, there's an interesting start, eh? So there's lots of different stands here with lots of different light levels, so I'm hoping we won't get too much flicker. I'll just change the settings there. So we're straight in, and actually I found yesterday that the whole place is quite mixed up. So sometimes you get sort of all the Chinese, although there is one hall that is just Chinese stuff. It is also like mixed in, which I think is better for everyone. Bearing in mind a lot of these Chinese companies, they're only here for business to business relationships. They're not actually here to sell to you, the customer. So yes, obviously it's going to be a lot of motorbikes and also electric. There's an awful lot of electric stuff this year. There's hundreds of these e-bike stands all over the place, which I'm not really sure many people want to see here, but they're here. There's also, along with the big motorbike helmet brands that we all know, Shui and Arai and all the big ones, there are also a lot of smaller companies that I've never heard of. Just helmets galore actually. So I think on this little vlog, there's no point me trying to show you anything really particular because it's just going to be too busy. Although it's not quite as busy as it was yesterday, but then most of the people seem to hang around the main stands, you know, the main brand stands. So let's have a little look and see what I can show you. I think that at this stage you can run through your YouTube feed and you're going to see all of the new stuff. All the people, the big players, have already done their videos and all the new stuff. I'm not going to be able to bring you any new information on those. So as far as I'm concerned, I'm just going to do a little vlog, try and show you, try and keep it down to less than about 20 minutes, 25 minutes, to show you around some of these stands and what it's like to visit this massive Eicma show. Yes, I can confirm it does seem much less busy than it was yesterday. I'm not really sure why. got to be honest, if I was in the market for a cruiser, the Indian bikes are much more my taste than the alternatives. This nice blue one here, for example, was very pretty. Right, it's an awful lot to get round, so we're not going to dwell on it. We're just going to go onwards, see what else we can find. Sneak through here, look. It's a pretty cool bike. Not exactly my cup of tea, if I'm honest with you, but very Italian. So actually I think a lot of my viewers, my subscribers, are more interested in the lower sized sort of end of the market, sort of 125, dare I say, up to something like 800 cc's. I think that is probably where most of the market's going in any case. So we'll see if we can find some of those. I do happen to know that there's a new bike out on the Norton stand, so maybe we'll try and squiz over there. So I don't really know what this brand is, but as you can see, everyone's got this sort of style bike. That's a 300cc, and there's an awful lot of these at the show. And there's a bit of a... It's quite cool, actually. It's an interesting exhaust pipe. It looks like my wife's hairdryer. Dyson hairdryer. So this is the Atlas GT. I think this is one of the bikes that everyone's been raving about. Got to be honest with you, I think it looks like an older Aprilia, and it is definitely nothing for me. Although the seat height looks nice and low. No, not sure about that at all. So the sports bike, again, not really for me, but it's a beautiful looking bike, I have to say. But the naked version, yeah, I'm totally not convinced about that either. Back to this Aprilia looking Atlas. This time, look, with a bit of luggage on the back. Right, let's have a quick, we don't want to skip too much, so let's have a quick look through the rest of the haul. It's quite easy to miss stuff if you're not careful, so I'll whiz through. So actually, probably not everybody knows this, but Bosch is a very big player in the automotive industry with electric motors and all kinds of other bits and pieces inside your cars and motorbikes. Lots of electrical items going in your cars and motorbikes made by Bosch. Not really sure why they've got a stand here, but I suppose it's for the trade customers to get to know them and do some business. So Scorpion helmets here. It's quite a cool stand. One thing I've noticed is that the ADV style helmet is a big player this year at the show. Awful lot of these as well, the quad bikes and the 4x4 kind of things. There's loads of those stands with those in the show, I've noticed. So I think for this haul, I don't think there's anything massively exciting to show you beyond what we've looked at, so we'll keep going. You see a lot of this going on, these girls posing with randomly awkward looking men. One thing I will note is that there's an awful lot of young people here. When I go to the motorbike show in Germany last year, I think I spotted about 5 people under the age of 30. Whereas here there seems to be a lot of people, like families, bringing their kids, and everyone's getting into bikes. You know, there's a lady there on a bike, and a young kid. Look, this looks cool. He's got his little red tracksuit on a red Harley. He looks the nuts, eh? Loving life. So here's a stand actually that's been getting a lot of press. I see an awful lot come through my Facebook feed, and that's this Climb or Klim. I don't know what you call them. I think it's called Climb. And yeah, personally I don't find it particularly special, but then I'm not really an off-road rider, so there you go. He looks happy. He looks like his wife's spending some of his money. As I say, I'm not clued up on the brand, so I don't know what's new and what's not. But as I say, I've seen an awful lot on my feed about this brand. Exhaust pipes, as we know, it's like the first mod everybody does. So Akrapovic got a nice stand here. And actually I've noticed that the Italians really swarm over the Italian brands. So where you've got Ducati, the Ducati stand is absolutely swamped all day long. It's actually not easy to get close to a Ducati at all for filming. I think if I was going to get a Panigale, it would be the V2. I think the V4's too much for the roads. Here's one for my mate Jeroen. This is the bike that he's after. I'll see if I can tag him in it somewhere. I bet that sounds great. Right, Can-Am's always at these shows, and not really sure that they build anything that I would want to buy. You do see these three-wheeler trike things in the Netherlands. I don't think I've ever seen one in the UK, but they are about. Kind of cool, but all the disadvantages of having a car and all the disadvantages of having a bike, aren't they? Just a lose-lose situation. So beyond that, Can-Am seem to be placing their bets on the electric market. Everything here is electric, I believe. It's quite a nice looking bike really, but I don't know how usable it is with an electric motor. What's your range? Another well-known motorbike exhaust pipe brand, Leo Vince or Vince. Got a few things to show. The Harley Davidson stand over here looks a bit swamped. I'll see if I can get up on there and show you at least something. So this is the Sportster S. I quite like that as it goes, massive chunky tyres. It's got a fat ass. This is a cool one. So I'm not too sure on the music in here, whether I'm going to get flagged up for that. Hopefully not. But we'll carry on filming as much as we can. So here's some of the baggers from the bagger racing. Quite interesting to see the technology in them. Beast. So we are 15 minutes into my recording and I'm only in the second hall, so I think this is going to be well over an hour, this video. So here's one of my requested bikes, the Cove Rally 800. And actually it's quite a low seat. Seat height is 890mm, so it looks quite good. Right, we're over to the BSA 650 Scrambler. Hope you can hear me. I've got to be honest. For the price of these things, it doesn't look the best. Well, yeah. Anyway, we'll move on because it's too loud. So what about this one? It is a BSA Thunderbolt by the looks of it. Can't see the specs of it, but it looks like a tiny little bike, maybe a 300. Yeah, it's a 300cc. So this is what I was talking about. There's another helmet brand here called LEM or LEM or LEM. Never heard of them, but they've got a full range of helmets here. Everything in their range is covered. Never heard of them. So actually this was an interesting brand that personally not heard of before, called Felon and More, and some really interesting looking bikes. This one's called the Cape Town 7S, so a 700cc. Weirdly it's got a British flag on the back, so perhaps they're English or some sort of English heritage. Looks like all in-house engineering, or certainly the brakes are stickered up with their own logos. This one's called Brighton. Again there with the British logo just under his knee. It's quite a nice looking bike actually. More of a sort of flat trackery version here with some handguards and a different headlight. Quite nice. Quite like this brand. I don't know anything about them. If you know anything about them, let me know in the comments. They've even got a cruiser with, again, a British flag. So this must be a British brand I've never heard of. And lo and behold, they've even got a 125 scooter. Look at that. And this is a 300cc scooter. So they're right into it. And I will say, these young Italian guys, they're really into their scooters. Look, I mean, like, you know, really delving into them. See a lot of interest from the young Italian guys here on the scooters. It's a big thing over here. Right, the Wunderlich stand. It's actually quite fun and funky stuff they've got on their stand this year. Lots of crash bars and bags and all kinds of other stuff. It's possibly the funkiest bike of the show. Gotta be honest, I quite like it. Right, moving on. Well, this is a nicely modified GS, isn't it? It's one for my mate Jasper. I think he'll like this one with a yellow screen. Look at that. Some very nice looking stuff here actually. It's very, very nicely made stuff. So, Unit Garage with a 1 in it. So, I don't know what they're called, but there you go. So I might make this into a standalone video, but this brand over here actually caught my attention. They're called Let Be. Their branding is on point, but also I think that their bikes are on point. So let's go over there and have a little look. So what we got here, this is a 125 petrol engine bikes here. And I think that this one over here that looks a little bit like a transformer at the front, I think that that's the one that's going to be interesting to a lot of people. So we'll have a look around for those. I did see one of the Spanish guys showing them off yesterday on his vlog, so that was fun. Yeah, let's just pop through here. So here we go, we get a closer look at the 125. It's got these awesome like fat sand tyres on it. Little cubby storage box there. Little tank bag holder. Weird material that the handlebars are coated in or made from. No idea if I'm meant to be walking through the stand, but hey ho, I did. So, maximum of 85 kilometers an hour, this 125, so it's not going to break any land speed records, but I think it's sort of on par with quality from like the Honda Monkey bike, something like that, perhaps something like that. It looks really fun and funky and fresh. And then the other bikes that I really liked were these ones here, the 700cc bikes that are on this little road. Now, I did have a nice chat with the guys yesterday. So let's start at the front. The first two bikes were actually designed by some students. So they got some students in and said, look, you know, how would you like them to look? So this is what they've come up with. Now this is a 700cc, I think. So it's an inline twin 700. So yeah, here we go. Got some like little low-level lights there, perhaps a bit too low. I personally think this is a bike that would fit into the English market. It's got such a nice look. I mean, look at this one. It's got those cool clip-ons, awesome front fairing, little seat cowl. I really like these. So this is the sort of standard guys you're going to get them in these three colours. There's a green one, a yellow, and this orange and blue, which is possibly the best one out of the three of them. So what do you think of those? So they're called Let Be, really cool branding. I had a chat with the guys yesterday, really friendly. What I told them was actually what English people will like to see is backlit switchgear, which they don't have, and a USB, which they do have on this bike. So I think that they're quite close to what people want actually. I have no idea what the price point is, but I'll probably be able to find that out in a future endeavour. And then this was another little thing that I thought might be of some interest as well, this sort of off-road looking very small engine beast. So that's like a little 125 version. And then this one is actually a 250. A very interesting beak on the front of it there. Well, that's not going to be to everybody's taste, is it? But nonetheless, I think that's a nice looking little bike. So anyway, there you go, that's Let Be. We'll let them be and have another look around. Right, moving on into the Yamaha stand now. Massive, great big 4x4 things. And this is just too big of a stand to really get through, and also it is mega busy. I'll tell you what, I'll put the camera up, you can see. So there you go, that's the reason why I'm not going to bother with the Yamaha stand. A, it's absolutely ginormous, and B, you just won't be able to see anything that you haven't already seen from the other YouTubers' channels. So there you go. Right, let's make our way through the crowd a bit more and see what else we can find. So again, a lot of the big clothing brands are here, showing off their wares. Monimoto here, which is also something that's quite big on YouTube lately for the GPS trackers. Never actually seen one in person, and they don't seem to have one on the stand, only a bunch of guys playing on their phones. Oh no, they've got one there, look. Size. Just show my little microphone for size. So quite a big stand for Motorini here, and once again the Italians have swamped it, so we won't be able to get to see many of the bikes, I don't suppose. I'm hoping next year, if I come next year, then I'll be able to sort of squeeze myself into the press days somehow. I need to learn how you do that. But what I have learnt this year is that trying to do this on a day that's open to the public is pretty much pointless. There we go, I managed to see a few of the Motorini bikes. So look, it's a big one here, 1200cc. Personally, I just don't see the point of having a 1200cc off-road bike. So yeah, Shui just launched this first helmet visor head-up display. Personally, don't see the point. But, you know, if you want to pay €400 to see the speedo that's, I don't know, a few millimetres below your eye line on your bike anyway, then crack on. Once again, look, this Suzuki stand, I literally can't even get to it. It's just so busy. There's no point me trying to show you anything there at all, unfortunately. It was the same problem yesterday, you just can't get to the bikes. So this part of the show I'm walking through at the minute is absolutely rammed. So unfortunately I can't get in there, but this brand PMJ, I noticed them yesterday and they've got some really nice jeans and products. See if I can just sort of film it from the side. So I think that if you're in the market for some jeans, this brand PMJ, perhaps look them out. I thought there's some really fun and funky stuff, so anyway, can't get in there, something going on, so there we go. So something I've noticed is that some brands are really into getting colour onto their items and some aren't, and HJC definitely are trying to fill the market full of wonderfully coloured helmets, which I like. So many people on this side of the show now. How cool are these? Right, so we can actually get on the Benelli show stand, but unfortunately there's a lot of loud noise going on here, so I'm not sure what you can hear of me, but we'll try and look at some of these Benellis.
Allora, siamo partiti alla gara, arrivati di sorta, quindi però poi è una carta che il taglio mi piace più sfogliare, ancora un peso secondo te la carta rispetto al social vivono ancora la tua visione.
Interestingly, this is a little 125.
I 51 numeri libreria, ma vediamo un po' più
Ho provato a farlo con Instagram perché non lo vedo niente.
As I say, this is a 400cc, what they're calling a bobber. Just shows you that that 400cc market is one that everybody's trying to fill.
La scarichi comunque il prodotto e la traccia è gratuita perché il valore aggiunto per noi è il racconto dell'itinerare, quindi le foto, cosa trovi.
So that's the little 125 that this little teenage boy is on. Just about tippy toes on it.
Bravi, bravi anche per questa vostra sensibilità e capacità di rinnovarsi, perché
And then we're over to a 300cc.
bisogna insomma sempre ricrearsi un po' e ogni giorno inventarsi
È
qualcosa.
importantissimo per noi non confondere il contenuto con il contenitore. Cambiano i tempi, cambiano le tecnologie, però quello che hai da dire si evolve ma non cambia, cioè, non è che nessuno fa venire meno quello che devi dire.
Giusto Antonio. Ne approfittiamo per lanciare ancora qualche viaggio, così fate un po' più vicini a noi, vediamo se i ragazzi ci sentono, se riusciamo
What a noisy guy. Well, back outside for a bit of fresh air. Well, no, it's not really, because everyone smokes in Italy and France. It's very stinky. But this gives you an idea of just how busy this show is. And I've got to be honest with you, if you travelled all the way to Italy for this, you'd hardly get to see any bikes. So, not really sure. Not really sure it's worth my time to come here, only for the fact that I have managed to, or at least started the spark of trying to meet people in the industry so that I can make some more interesting content going forward on this channel. Right, it's going to the next, the next, what are you going to call this, arena. Nice and quiet in here, and this is because this is pretty much all Chinese brands in here. So I suspect that there isn't going to be an awful lot of selling to the general public on this one. It will be mostly B2B, business to business. That said, I suspect that if they've got stock here and people want to buy it, I suspect they'll sell it. Saves them having to take it home. And hopefully if I can find it again. There was one brand that I found in here that really impressed me by the quality. A bit of a knockoff from the Honda XADV lineup, but a very, very good knockoff version in their own right. So let's have a quick wander through here. I'll speed it all up so you don't have to watch me walking around, but let's have a quick walk around. Here we go. No, I like these. These are just like blatant Honda copies. Honda Monkey, Honda Dax, another Honda Monkey. It's so funny. I suppose that's more almost like a Grom, that one. It looks very SW Motec, doesn't it? So this company, Car ABC, actually contacted me 2 days before the show and want me to test out one of their screens. So I said I'd take one off their hands and have a look for you guys. Fair amount of interest about these guys, so maybe it's something after all. So, Auto ABC, perhaps a video on one of their screens coming soon on the channel. So I think that's probably enough of walking through these Chinese displays. I've got a feeling that actually many of the things that you guys already buy are already what you've just seen rebranded into something that you know. I did speak to another guy from another brand yesterday who basically said that exact thing. So 10 years ago they were just buying from somebody, a third party, getting them to rebrand it for them, selling the products as their own. But now as time's gone on, they've had to make better products because unfortunately they just weren't good enough. So it means that yeah, basically that's the way things have swung around. They look cold. Right, let's get out of here and go to the next part. Right, I've crossed over now from one side of the gantry to the other, so there's another set of halls this side. And I've noticed straight away you've got a few more major brands straight from in the door, so we're going to have to go straight over to the Triumph stand. The first thing I can tell you is that I think it's going to be just as busy. At least it's not as noisy as it was the other side. So once again, I think that pretty much everything that I can show you on this stand I can probably show you from my local bike shop. So I don't know, it's not quite as busy as the other stands that we've seen, Suzuki and Ducati. They really are stomping with people. Although, once again, I can't really get to look at the bikes properly for you. And actually the lighting is pretty crap as well. So I think we'll swiftly move away from all these new Triumphs, and you'll be able to see all those on other people's reviews. I'll show you a little bit more of the show. Very crowded. So this is the new Schuberth noise cancelling technology, I think it is, isn't it? So they're chucking people in this wind tunnel so that they can show you the effects of the helmet. Again, you'll be able to see those videos all over YouTube already, so there's no point me making one, I don't think. Otherwise, I'm just doing the same thing as everybody else. These I liked. I think I saw these last year as well at a German show. Right, Royal Enfield. We all know that these guys have launched a bunch of bikes. What can we actually see? Not much, probably. So I think this one's going to be one that a lot of people are going to be chirping on about. I've got to be honest, this is not a brand that tickles my tickle bone, but I know it is one that tickles a lot of other people's. So actually you can get to see a few of the bikes on this one. It's not completely swamped, but I think that is indicative of this market. You know, these Italian guys and gals are not that interested in these bikes for some reason. I think they're not Italian enough for them. So once again, I'm sorry that I couldn't really bring you amazing motorbike content from this show, but unfortunately it's just too busy. It's just too busy. There's no way I can show you any really good content of the bikes close up because I can't get to them. Yeah, it looks quite cool. It needs an 81 though instead of an 01. Beautiful. Right, where can we go? Arai. Again, Arai I don't think have launched anything particularly new that's noteworthy in a motorbike helmet game. Although I did quite like their off-road helmets. Let's have a quick squiz at these. I like the fact that they're getting on board with the colours. Cool, aren't they? I just wish we could get our road helmets in equally fun colours. Come on everybody, get involved. Right, so I was here a couple of times yesterday on the Ducati stand trying to get a look at the new Hypermotard, but unfortunately it wasn't very successful. So we'll have a little look. Luckily there are some signs on the ceiling showing you where the bikes are, so I can go straight for it this time. I didn't notice that yesterday and I was wandering about. That's a Hypermotard V2. So here we go. See if I can get around it. I'm just going to push people out of the way. What do we think of this beak? It's actually got proper nostrils. Proper squeezing for everyone here. Right, see if I can look at the dash. It's very difficult because there's lots and lots of people trying to sit on it. Oh look, a little kid on it, that's excellent. Get him in young people. Right, let's get out of this melee because it's ridiculous. Woo. So there you go, it's a little look around the new Hypermotard. I think if I was in the market for Ducati, that would probably be up there for me. I really like that. And I know a lot of you guys too do as well. So what else can we see in this particular part of the show? Do we really need a V4 one of these, everybody? Is it really necessary? Do we need 160 horsepower on one of these bikes? I don't think so. can use my pole to zoom in. What I will say about Ducati is that they've really got it sussed, haven't they? Like, all the switch gear, the quality of it, everything is just so slick. And like, I've ridden a few now, the gearboxes are just sublime. Everything about them is just so well engineered. Thanks to the Germans. Right, I really am going to try and whiz through this lot now, because otherwise this film's going to be so long I won't even have enough time to edit it. Here we go.
Allora ragazzi, siamo qua, vi ricordo ancora 10 minuti per giocare con noi e vincere i premi F, ma soprattutto i premi firmati da Lazza. Abbiamo un paio di vincitori a dimostrazione che la fortuna comunque arriva, basta solo iscriversi. La vostra Ale vi aspetta con un prototipo, avanti, vado lì, vi faccio vedere. Allora, complimenti.
Probably the most crazy bike ever made. Love it. I genuinely see myself owning one of these. This looks absolutely so cool. And even a 700 version. So cool. Want. They're all just so cool. I love these bikes. Don't know if you're a scooter fan like me, but I think I definitely am a scooter fan. Look, it's even got rear pegs on it, look, for the passenger. That is funny. Cool, that's cool how they flick away. Right, moving on. Yeah, I can hear some noisy people in the distance. They're obviously throwing some free stuff to the crowd again. And here's what I sort of find a bit odd. Why we've got these little miniature cars in here? What's that got to do with motorbikes exactly? Someone who please tell me. Now, that's a cool looking set of graphics, isn't it? Look. Nice. Right, something's happening on the Polini stage. They're giving away some, I don't know, used knickers or something. I don't know. It's obviously someone famous. So just walking around, I had to film this because I thought it was pretty funny, but it is a Valentino Rossi stand here at the show. Not only is it massive, but it is swamped. Just people buying baseball caps and t-shirts. Like, what? The guy's so famous, he's got a big stand. Look how big this stand is. Like, it's a bigger stand than some relatively major brands here, and he's just making a fortune. I love it. Brilliant. See, even got a little office full of people. How many people just work for him? It's mental. I've seen a lot of battery manufacturers on this show as well, which is a bit weird. Right, here we go. We're going to head over to the Honda stand. We already know it, don't we? It's going to be too busy for me to film anything. The question I've been asked is, does the new 750 or the 1000 have going to come with a DCT gearbox? I've got a feeling it won't. But we'll quickly go and have a look over there and see if we can see anything. Probably not. Here we go. Right, I'm going to confess this. I didn't really look at the Honda stand yesterday that much. It was really too busy for me to get to it. So let's have a little look. I did take a little video of the new colours of the XADV. That'll be a separate little video. It's probably about a 1 minute video. Not much on that bike here. So I think there's a lot of hubbub about the new E-clutch, which actually I'm a fan of. I've not ridden one, but I love my DCT gearbox a lot. So, right, this is a bike that I like, the 1000F. Again, the lighting here is pretty terrible. So this is about as close as I've got to it so far. So no signs of it being able to take a DCT gearbox, I don't think. I think it's just an E-clutch version. So the Trans Alp, the 750, is also getting an E-clutch as well. Again, we won't be able to see much of it. So there's the E-clutch system there.
Vediamo se... Io devo fare solo una foto.
So I wonder what else is new. I think when I get back, we'll find out more and more about what's new from the show, from other guys that are here on the press days. Unfortunately, that wasn't me.
questo è bellissimo. XADV, questo è bello, no? Bellissimo. Un altro colore, nero magari. Questo vai al centro vai.
So interestingly, with the XADV, look, if you look at everyone, they're just making a nice, neat circle around it. Whereas on a lot of other bikes, there's a big scrum. Seems to be more respect about this bike for some reason. There's so many people really looking at it like they're going to buy one rather than they just want one. Does that make sense? Right, I've got to keep moving. So this light works well. If you go near anything with this light on, people just want to get out of the way. So that's a good tip for you if you want to film stuff in public.
Lo sganci la tiri su. Prova a fare la tua. Facendo la mano.
Vicino a posto.
Ma 69 adesso. Ma quello c'è lo spazio. È lo stesso modo di questo qua. Dopo poi so che mi rompo le palle in fretta. Vado davanti qua.
Right, I'm over by the Honda XADV. Obviously, it's very busy. This one's got 3-piece luggage on it, which is interesting to see. How that fits on. I think I'll be tempted with those side panniers actually. As we know, not much has changed for 2026, only for some colours. And this is a black one, so it's the same as the one I already have. this is quite an interesting bike. 500cc Hornet. Perfect bike for the young rider.
Questa è bella per te.
So, as you know on my channel, I've already tried to install some of this stuff from this brand. I did actually have a chat with him yesterday up on the stand there, and did manage to get a contact name for someone that might be able to get me involved with doing some more stuff on this company's products. So you never know, with a bit of luck I might be able to get in there and show them what I found from their products, and maybe we can work together to make them better. So actually, incidentally, this Forza 750 is not a bike that is particularly prominent anywhere to find at the show, not even at the Honda stand. So not many people get to film this, so I think I'll just do a separate film of this. Right, we're over at the Givi indulged Honda Forza 750. I think there's quite a lot of people that want to see this bike but don't get to see it. It's not very well publicised on YouTube. And actually, I'm going to book myself a test ride on one of these, because it's just basically the same as my Honda XADV, with a slightly missing set of foot pegs down there. So it'd be very interesting to see what it's actually really like as a bike. Same dash, same controls, everything is exactly the same, apart from the mirrors are out here, and it's more of a, I don't know, it's more of a scooter. So there you go. Anyway, I quite like it. Would be cool if it came in some interesting funky colours. well, there we are. That's pretty much the end of the show. It's just too much to get around to make it into any kind of video that anyone would want to watch. So I hope that gives you a bit of an experience of what it's like to go to this massive show in Milan. There is people and food and smells and a lot of body odour everywhere. People waving at me. So there you go. I hope you've enjoyed watching this twaddle of me wandering about a show. And thanks for watching. And I'll see you in the next one.